Hey everyone, Dave here. I had the chance to check out Pixar's brand new Disney Plus series, Cars on the Road, which of course hits the streaming service this Disney Plus Day, September 8, 2022. And in this video, I'm going to be going over all of my thoughts on the upcoming series. But before I do, I want to hear from you. Are you excited for Cars on the Road? Or if you've seen the series, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you not love it so much? Join the conversation down in the comments below. Return to the world of Cars as Lightning McQueen and his best friend Mater head east from Radiator Springs on a cross-country road trip to meet up with Mater's sister. Along the way, every stop is its own adventure, with outrageous roadside attractions and colourful new characters. So Pixar is returning to us with their second ever television series, of course following last year's Up series, Dug Days. I say second ever series, there have been a number of series made using Pixar characters, but this is only the second one that's actually been developed in-house at Pixar and not by some other like third-party studio. Now there have been a few questions surrounding Cars on the Road. I'd like to address them at the very front of this video right here. Disney has not really been incredibly explicit in its marketing and its PR for this film about whether this was going to follow the route of Dug Days and just present a bunch of like 10-minute shorts, or whether these are actually going to be like full 20-minute episodes like the Monsters at Work series that we've had recently. That one was not developed by Pixar, that was developed by some Disney television animation arm. So that's the difference here. Now for those of us who have been getting excited at the prospect of possibly getting like a full-length 20+ minute episode kind of series for this, unfortunately that is not the case. This is pretty much exactly like Dug Days, in which it's basically just a bunch of glorified short films batched together as a TV series. There's 9 episodes of Cars on the Road, and each episode runs between about 8 and 10 minutes each. When you get rid of the opening sequences and end credits and all that, the entire runtime of this comes just under 70 minutes, which means this is basically the length of one of those old direct-to-home media Disney sequels, original films that they put out so many of all those years ago. And that's essentially what this is. This is essentially like a Cars tally movie, which might actually get people a little bit more excited for this one. This series follows Lightning McQueen and Mater as they go on this cross-country road trip. Every episode follows some wild and wacky adventure that they get up to along the way, whether they're stopping off and visiting roadside attractions or meeting up with crazy characters. There's one where they stop off at like this prehistoric car park. There's one where they meet these like monster cars in the jungle. There's one where they meet up with these kind of post-apocalyptic wasteland cars, a bit of a like a spoof on the Mad Max movies. There's one where they stop over at a haunted mansion overnight. It's like a bit of a kind of a riff on The Shining kind of thing. There's a musical episode. There's an episode where they get strung up into making a movie. They become like movie stars. All these kinds of weird, kind of wacky and wonderful adventures that they get up to. And they are kind of interchangeable. Like for the most part, you could probably watch these episodes in kind of any order that you wanted to. But the great thing here is that we do get some characters kind of introduced along the way that do flow in and out of the episodes and do kind of tie them together with a kind of a nice through line, a nice little narrative that goes through all of these episodes and does kind of form a really concise kind of narrative. So if you sit and you watch all of these in a row in one sitting, just as I did, you're basically getting a mini Cars movie out of this. This is a kind of like Cars 3.5, and I think that was kind of really cool about this. Now, another really great thing here with this series is that Pixar has actually taken the chance to use this short form formula to their advantage and actually explore some of these kind of wilder and wackier and zanier kind of ideas, which is really cool because in some of the movies, I don't think some of the stuff that happens here, some of the stuff I've just rattled off, monster cars, haunted houses, all that kind of stuff, I don't think would really work in the kind of core franchise of the movies. For me, Cars 2 did not work because it was this over-the-top spy adventure, and it just didn't work. It felt, to me, it felt like it didn't fit in, it didn't work in that world that we had established with Cars in the first movie. This series right here kind of feels that same way, but because it is disconnected from the main franchise, it is its own thing. I think it kind of works. This is the way that I like to see them experimenting with these kind of ideas. And it's fun and it's innocent entertainment. These adventures the two characters go on are a lot of fun. There's a lot of really funny gags in here too. Like the classic Cars humor, the Pixar humor that we're all so used to is there. The heart and the soul of the Pixar characters, the Cars characters are there as well. This mostly puts a focus on Mater that we perhaps haven't really seen in kind of a more extended form before, which I think is great. We explore not just him, but his family. As I said, we also get some new characters that come into it as well, and they have kind of like a nice little arc over the series of the cartoons as well. We got this nice little kind of human element in there. I think it works really well. Again though, don't expect this to be like the greatest thing you have ever seen. This does very much feel like a tally movie or a direct-to-video movie or a television special or something like that. It doesn't feel like it has that really precise, terrific writing and storytelling attached to it as the movies would. You know, these movies are in development for 5-6 years. This television series probably been in production for maybe 2 or 3 years. It hasn't had as much time to kind of refine everything. So we can't expect like cinematic movie level stuff from television. But I think for the format, it works really, really quite well. We of course do have Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy back voicing Lightning and Mater respectively, which is really great to hear them here. You know, Pixar and Disney are usually pretty good with this, particularly when it comes like to the big event kind of tally movie or special kind of stuff. They do always try their best to get the original vocal talent back, and it's just so great to hear these two back in their roles. It makes the whole thing feel a little bit more real, a little bit more organic. Feels like it, you know, is actually part of the canon of the series, not just some kind of random television offshoot. I imagine if they do make a Cars 4, they probably will ignore the events that have happened in this series, just as, you know, Cars 3 and Cars 2 ignore the events of the Cars Toons or Mater's Tall Tales or any of those kind of short films. Look, at the end of the day, these are just basically fun little slices of the Cars world for people to enjoy. If you're a diehard fan, I think you're gonna absolutely love these. I think they're things that you'll probably return to on a regular basis because they are just so easy and fun to watch. If you're a casual fan or, you know, someone who's just kind of mildly interested, I think you'll watch them and go, yeah, that was okay. Probably nothing that you return back to. I think for me, I'm maybe in the middle there, just a little bit. I really quite enjoyed them, and I appreciate what they really tried to do with this series. Again, the fact that this is almost like a mini tally movie, I still think that what they have done here is really, really cool. I don't think it's something that I'll return to on a particularly regular basis. I'll probably watch them again one day at some point down the line, but for now, I'm just something that I enjoyed watching. And at that, I'll be giving Cars on the Road a 3 out of 5. Cars on the Road is a fun little installment in the Cars franchise with funny gags, exciting adventures, and lots of heart. Taking advantage of the short form formula, the franchise is allowed to dabble in and explore some wilder and wackier ideas to great success. While each episode plays out like an individual short cartoon, a number of exciting through lines tie them all together to form a charming mini film. And at that, I want to know your thoughts on Cars on the Road. If you haven't seen it just yet, how excited for it are you? If you have seen it, how much did you love it? Throw over those thoughts down in the comments below and join the conversation. Also, if you want to keep up to date with all my Disney Plus Day and D23 Expo coverage over the next weekend, there's going to be so much of it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and follow the playlists on your screen. Thanks for watching.